Hello and welcome to the latest video of the week's news, brought to you by Estate Agent Today and Letting Agent Today. You may be forgiven for thinking that as summer nears, so the estate and letting agent industry slows down. Well, there's no sign of things slowing just yet. One of the many big stories this week looked at estate agent reviews. This came in light of a Competition and Markets Authority warning that many online reviews of everything from books to music were in fact fake. There are now several agency review sites, and one of them, raterAgent, promised it would name and shame anyone it found faking reviews. It says that by its own calculation, 1 review in every 6 on its site may be a fake, posted either to big up an agency or to rubbish a rival agency. Another big story this week was the unveiling of a property website league table based on analysis of 30 websites by digital consultancy called Inside Online. It will come as no surprise that Rightmove and Zoopla were a long way ahead of the others in terms of unique visits per month. But perhaps surprisingly, amongst the mainstream agents, the most visited website was YourMove, and amongst the high-end agents, the most visited was Savills. The analysis looked at the use of keywords, links and other features to draw in repeat visitors, as well as unique hits. Towards the end of the week, we had a lot of hits on Estate Agent Today for a story revealing that the Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors was contemplating removing any valuation element from the popular HomeBuyer Report, one of the most common surveys commissioned by house buyers. The reason given by RICS was that it wanted to report the emphasis that those conducting the survey were of course surveyors and not valuers, and that if buyers wanted an independent valuation, they should instruct and pay for another expert. Comments on the Estate Agent Today site suggest many agents think this is just a way of RICS increasing income rather than performing a service to the public. Well, the election may be over, but MPs are still very interested in what's happening in the private rental sector. This week saw the Conservative MP, Dame Angela Watkinson, introduce a bill into the Commons, making it easier to identify landlords by adding landlord details to council tax paperwork, even if the tax is paid by the tenant. She reckons this will force landlords to be named, making it easier for local councils to identify ones who may not be abiding by local licensing schemes or may not have paid tax. And a Labour MP, Karen Buck, has also introduced a bill to the Commons, wanting to oblige private landlords to ensure their rental properties are of a decent standard, in line with the recommendations by the English Survey of Housing. A story from Scotland also broke cover this week, and it's also likely to run and run. The Scottish Government wants to reform the land ownership and taxation structure north of the border. The government claims that about half of all private land in Scotland is owned by just 432 people, many enjoying tax concessions introduced by the Westminster government in the past. Now the Scottish Government wants that to change. It wants to scrap some tax breaks for estate owners and, most controversial of all, be entitled to oblige owners to sell some land if it is required for some form of economic development. It won't come as a surprise that some landowner groups have come out against the move. Watch this space for more stories about this over the summer. In other news this week, frustration for Foxtons. The controversial agency finally lost its bid to open an office in a South London pub when the local council reclassified the pub as a community asset and so not open for change of use. Letting agency Leaders acquired another independent firm, taking the total of its offices across the country to 99. It says it wants to expand more, especially in the Midlands. And Zoopla has launched a real-time listing service, promising to publish 100% of member agents' listings from their website to Zoopla and prime location within just 6 minutes. There, we told you it was a busy week, and it was. Remember, you can keep up to date with news every day by visiting Estate Agent Today and Letting Agent Today's websites for all the top industry stories. We'll be back again next week. Until then, thanks so much for watching. See you next time.